I want to get you used to the planes. So see this icon right here? We can create our own planes because sometimes when we have complicated parts, we're not always able to use those planes right here. So we can click on this option over here and we can create planes. It's got quite a bit of ways of creating planes: offset from a plane, parallel to a point, to 3 points. So if you're going to create a plane to 3 points, you just click on this and it's going to ask us to select point number 1. It's point number 1 right here, point number 2, and point number 3. So if we see, we got a plane through the 3 points, and if we click OK, now we can open a sketch onto this plane and we can build our whatever shape our drawing shows. So click on arc, click OK, and then click on the pocket, and we can go up to next, or you can give it a dimension. It's going through the whole part. And if you want to go just to the up to next, it's just going to stop on the first surface where it's projected. So click OK, and there is our hole. What we can do, see, it didn't go through on the other side. So we can just double click, and let's go to more, and then we can go to the second limit over here. So we can put up to next here, up to next here, and then click preview. And as you see right now, it's going through the part on this side. So now click OK, and there we have your hole in an angle. So it's very important that we get familiar with the plane, so we can create our plane however we want. And what else? Let's try something else. We can do an offset from a plane. So what we can do, we can click on the surface, and automatically it gives us an offset. So we can move it up and down. This is an offset from a plane, and you can give you a dimension. That's a different way of creating a sketch. Click OK. Or we can create a plane. That was offset from a plane. Then we have a whole bunch of points options we can go through. We go normal to a curve. That's going to put us a plane perpendicular to any curves we have. So if you click on this curve right here, I automatically created that plane perpendicular to it. So that way we can come here, click on this, and open a sketch. Okay, so right now we're working on this sketch right here, but you cannot see what's going on. So what we can do, if you click on this option right here, see what it did? We can see up to that plane, the geometry, but that doesn't mean it's cutting off the geometry. If we get out of the sketch, it's just a construction element. So let's go back on the sketch, and we click on a cut part by sketch plane. So we can see our thickness. If you want to build something in here, if you want to put a groove through here, if you want to put like a little groove through there, then you click OK. Then this is your sketch right here. So you can do a pocket, and we can put dimension. Let's put more, give it a dimension. First of all, I have to select this. So let's bring this limit. We can change the limit. We can drag it by hand. So it goes by inches. So let's go 1.2 over here. Or we can put up to next over here. And let's go up to next over here. Let's put a preview. Click OK. and we have a groove going through the part. Okay, let's see what else we have over here. We can create the planes perpendicular to the screen, which is equation. So if you click on this, right now this screen, if you click on any point right now, if you can rotate it this way, any point you selected, so we got a point right there, but it's not parallel to the screen. Now if you put equation over here, and you put parallel to the screen, watch what happen. Automatically, you put that plane parallel with the screen. So if I click OK, and I click on this plane, and I put normal view, that's parallel to the screen. So now we can build our sketch. Go to this plane, and we can create our own shape in here. If we get out, see that sketch is parallel with that plane that we just created, and we can do a pocket up to next, and there is our pocket right there. But for instance, if you don't like this parallel to screen, what you can do, you can edit it right away. Just double click on it and move your screen however you want on a new position, and put it parallel to the screen again, and watch what happens. It's going to automatically update it. So right now we got the new position. So automatically updated our sketch. See how we changed it? So that's a very nifty feature. I like to use this a lot. Parallel to the screen. So there is quite a bit of ways of creating planes. It's very important you get used to this icon over here, creating planes, because not always we're gonna be able to use the axis planes. So we gotta learn how to use our own planes, because we might have some complicated parts, and we have to be able to know how to use this. What else do we have in here? Normal to a curve, tangent to a surface. So if you click tangent to a surface, you click on any surface that you have, click the surface, then it's going to ask us for a point where to put a tangency to. So just click on this point, and automatically we got a plane tangent to that surface. Click OK. So our plane is right here. So we can build our sketch right from there. It draws on the sketch, but the part is upside down, so we can do just hit normal to view, hit it again, and automatically it's going to rotate our part. Okay. Also we can do offset again, so you can create your plane whatever you want, and if you click on the plane and you put offset, you can offset the plane that you just created on your own. So create your own plane. But those two planes right now, they're linked to each other. So if I click on this and I change the angle, let's go, I want to put it over here, and I put parallel to the screen. See, automatically it changed, and if I put OK, automatically it's going to update the offset plane that I created, because they're linked together. Okay, so I want to make sure we learn about the construction planes. It's very important. Let's go try right now some more options. So let's get rid of this part, so I can close it. Let's say no for the saving, and let's put file, new, and let's type part again in here. Click OK. Get a new part. Let's open a new sketcher. Let's go on ZY plane, or we can get the planes from here also. Okay, let's create an axis. So we create an axis, so you can see it's vertical. Got a vertical axis, and let's try some of those options over here. Let's click on the profile. See this right here? Every time you open it, this profile always goes in a straight line. Then you can create your arc. But what we can do, instead of starting with a straight line, we can start with an arc from the beginning. So what we can do is cancel this, and we're gonna go here. Let's cancel this. Click the delete key. Go click on the profile, and before we grab the line, let's go here and click on the 3-point arc, and automatically start with an arc from the beginning instead of starting with a line. Okay, now it goes back to normal way. Okay, let's create any profile you would prefer. Okay, click escape. Let's go back in here. Make sure you snap it into the axis. You see how it gets, it knows it's in the center of the axis. So click in here. Click OK. Click escape now. And I want to try this new option over here. Let's go connect. So I can click on this line with this line, and it automatically knows the tangency between those two lines. Okay. As you see here, we got a couple options. We can click on tangency, and automatically it creates this curve tangent to this line right here. And also you can change the tension. You can move it up and down. And same thing with this right here. We can, instead of curvature, we can put tangency, and now it's tangent with this. Same thing, we can create a tension and decrease the tension. Okay. This arc right here doesn't look pretty smooth, so I'm gonna delete it, and I'm gonna go to corner. I'm gonna pre-select this line with this line and give it a better shape. Same thing over here. So now we have a profile. Let's get out of the sketch. Let's click on the shaft. And here we have a weird shape. Just double click on the shaft again. Try some of the options that we have in here. We can change the degrees. You see right here, we can change the degrees. Let's put 250. And click preview. Okay. So instead of making a full 360, you can change the degrees to whatever would be comfortable. Okay, let's go back in it. Let's give it a try on the thick profile. And as you see right now, if I click a preview, everything became a shell. So now we have a shell. We can give it a thickness over here. Let's make it 250. So now let's go in 250 on the inside, but if you click on a neutral fiber, so we got 250 over here, and if you put 250 over here, it's gonna go on the other side. So we got 250 from here to here and 250 from here to here. Or we can do, we can click neutral fiber, and it knows that's the center line, so it's gonna go 125 and 125. So if you put ½ inch over here, automatically knows that from the center line, from here to here, and from here to here we have ½ inch. So if we click OK, we got a weird shell. We can do some analyzing. Click on the measure between, and over here let's leave it for now on any geometry. Let's try to use the measuring tools. So let's click on the measure in between, and we created this ½ inch thick. So let's click over here, any geometry to any geometry. So right now I'm going to click on this line to this line, and we have our dimension ½ inch. Now if we click OK without keep pressuring over here, keep measure, it's not going to keep the measure. So if you click OK, the dimension is gone. What we can do, we can go ahead and do it again, but this time let's make sure we have this keep measure. We'll grab this, move it over here, click OK. Now if we go back on the shaft, if we change the ½ inch to 1 inch, click OK, you watch our dimension is not updated. What you can do, go on a part, right click, local update, you see the little icon over here that showed us, so you cannot see it too well. So what we can do, we can just click on this. If you click on the tree, you can see the color, it's darker. Now you can zoom in and out on the tree, and we can see the icon over here. Then it's an update. So if you click F3, get out of there, F3 again. Now we can click local update, and watch our dimension automatically change. So keep an eye on the local update. When you get the icon over here, we have to make sure that we update it. And zoom in and out on the tree. Once again, you just click on the tree anywhere over here on this, because if you click on the screen nothing happens, but if you click on the bar over here, colors gets darker. So now you can zoom in and out on the tree. So, and then once you do that, you can actually grab this and move it around, and so you can put it back again. And if you click F3 twice, you get out of the mode. So now you can zoom in and out on the part, click on this, zoom in and out on the tree, and to get out of it, F3 2 times to bring it back. Because if you click F3 just once right now, it just takes the tree out of the screen. So F3, F3, that's what it does. Okay, let's try to build now a sketch on this surface over here, or we can build it on the plane, because right now, as you see, our plane, it's in the center. So it can go either on the XY, on XZ plane, we can create a sketch right now, or we can create a sketch on this plane. We can do either or. Let's go a little bit more advanced this time. So instead of going on the regular, let's change its angle to let's go odd number, 223. Okay, so now we have a weird angle. Now if you want to create a groove onto this part right here, we cannot go onto those axes because we have Actually we can, because this plane right here is parallel with this. But if you want to build a sketch on this surface right here, instead of clicking on the plane, we can build a sketch on this surface. So click on the sketch, click on the surface, and let's create a groove in here. So we got a groove. We get out of the sketch. Oh, in order to use the groove option, we have to make sure we have an axis. So let's go back on the sketch, double click on the geometry, and let's create an axis. So we have our axis over here. Okay, get out of the sketch, and now if you click on the groove, let's go this time 360. Let's do a preview. Click OK. So we have a groove into our part. We could have done this on a regular sketch, this one right here, on the main one, but it's preferences. You can use it later or before or later, or after. It's up to totally up to you. But if you have complicated parts, it's good to know how to use this groove option. So, but now let's constrain. Let's put some dimensions. Let's make sure we get this groove over here parallel with this right here. So let's throw some dimensions in there and constrain it. So we can double click on the sketch, or we can put a hide show. See, it's hidden right now. It's in here. So we can go in here and do hide show, bring it back, or we can come here, hide show, hide show. So we can double click on the sketch. And what do you want to do right now? We need to go on this, or use this option over here to bring into our sketch this the surface, this line. Okay, so what we can do is just click on this, and let's use the project 3D elements, and now we got that line onto our sketcher. So if we hide the part, so we got the line in there. But what we want to do, because we're going to use this just for reference, we have to make sure we use it as a construction element. Okay, so let's go normal to view, and let's put this, pre-select this line with this line, and let's try to give a dimension. See, it knows it's on an angle, but what we can do right click, and we can put parallel, and see what it does. It made it parallel. Now we can throw some dimensions in there. So click on the constraint, this line with this line, and let's make it 1/2 inch. Now we can do a hide on this, and we can see right now it's parallel with our part. And if we want to bring it a little bit low, we can create some perpendicular line over here, and we can bring it down to whatever dimension. So we can do hide. We can hide the part, and we can create a line perpendicular to this right here. So right now it's trying to snap. It's trying to snap with some of those options. But what we can do is just hit the shift key, and it doesn't snap anymore. So it just we can just drop it over here, and we can give it a dimension. We can give it a dimension to make sure we'll make a 90-degree. So let's pre-select this line with this line, and let's make this 90. So now we know for sure that we have 90 degrees between here and here. And now we can give a dimension to the groove. Sorry, let's make sure we select both lines. So let's make it 1 inch. And we want to bring it in the center of this. Let's see how big this is. This is 1.5. We can give a dimension from here to here. Let's make it 400. It knows that we got the purple on here because we constrained this twice. So let's see what it does. Yeah, it knows that we constrained this 2 times. So let's go back onto the sketch and let's delete this. Let's hide this, and automatically our groove is updated. The last thing we gotta do right now, we gotta make sure we put it in the middle of our line that we just spoke about. So let's do a hide on the part. And what we're gonna do, we can create a line perpendicular to this line and another line perpendicular to this line. Then we're gonna do a coincidence between those 2 lines, and automatically it should move this in place. Okay, so what we can do, let's grab this line. We have to make sure that we're on the construction element. It's highlighted because everything that we're going to create right now is just for the construction. So this is good. So we don't want it on because we get a full line. So we don't want that. So we have to make sure that we have this on and create a line perpendicular with this line. So you see right now I got the full moon. That means I'm in the middle. And I'm gonna go parallel. So we got the sign over here, the parallel sign. So we know that's parallel with this. So that's already 90. Then let's create another line. We're in the center right now. So if you move up and down, once you get the full moon, that means you're in the center of the line. We'll get a parallel again. And all we can do right now, just pre-select this line with this line, and we have to go to the constraint defined dialog box, and we have to click coincidence, and automatically we got it in the center. Click OK. Let's bring our part back, and as soon as we're going to get out of the sketch, our model is going to be updated. I want to go try the new option. A new icon is called rib. Let's try a new file. So let's close this one down. And let's put, we can go here and grab our new part design from here. Or we can go here and put file, new. We can type part. We can find all these options over here. Or we can go here and then just click on the part design. So let's open make a sketch. Let's create a weird shape. Okay, let's hit escape now. We got our shape, and for us to create a rib, we need to have the profile and the curve. So what we gotta do, we gotta create our profile at the end of one of those ends of curve. And in order to start a sketch over here, we can create a plane, and we're gonna go normal to the curve, and click on this curve, and it's gonna ask us to select the curve. So we just select this curve. Now it's looking for the point automatically. You put it in the middle. So we can, instead of automatically default in the middle, we can just click on this point, and we'll get our plane over there. Now click OK. Now we can open a sketch on this end of this curve, and we can create any profile. Let's create an ellipse. So now we have an ellipse, right? It's not on the center, you can see the point in here, but if you pre-select this point with this point, let's try to do a dimension in here, and before you click it, just do right click and do coincidence, so automatically it's snapped into the center of the curve. Okay, so we can get out of the sketch now. We got the profile, go to the rib. It's asking us for the profile and the center curve. So the profile is this, and the center curve is this. And if I do a preview, there's our little rib. We've got a couple options we can choose from over here. We can have a pull-in direction, and we have to click the selection you want to pull it. So we can go XY plane, it doesn't like that. We can try this right here. So do a preview. The angle is not constant, but the best option is to just keep the angle. That's the best option, because that way we know all the way around this part, this profile, it's always perpendicular with the curve. And we can make it a thick profile. See, it asks us for the thickness. Let's make it 100. Do a preview. So we can have the thick profile going through. Then we can put neutral fiber. It's going from the center equal amount. So right now if we put 100,000 over here, that means it's going to go from center up 100,000, and from center of this curve down 100,000. Click preview, and there's our rib. There's a couple options you can do this.